Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the third body lesson for people with a posture ranking of 2 to 4, meaning you don't have any pain that you can use as a guide to tell you whether you're using good posture or not, right? So now that you have spent some time doing a little cleaning and figuring out how to move in a different way that feels better, right? We want to use this, we want to help feed this newfound skill by fixing all of our furniture so that it supports good posture instead of bad posture, right? So the third body lesson has actually been split up into 8 different videos for you, so it's not overwhelming. We just want to take a look at all the things that everybody uses the most and how we can simply and easily fix that so that we can actually feel good no matter what we do. How cool would that be, right? So, let's see. Oh, yes, before we get started, I want to take a minute to go over why they're in the order they are so that you can customize it if you are one of the exceptions. So, the first thing we want to look at is whatever you use the most. I find it ironic that the one thing Mother Nature says we should never do, which is sit down on your butt the way we've all learned is so normal, right? Is the one thing we all do the most. So that's definitely going to come in, and I don't care how active you think you are, that's probably going to come in as number one because it's very, very easy to abuse, and we all use them so much, right? Number two is also very, very important, and it tends to be something that you just don't really stop to think about your shoes and your pants. You know, everybody thinks about how they like it to look, right? And they want it to be comfortable, absolutely. But what if your idea of comfortable is encouraging worse posture, right? How do we keep it comfortable and start encouraging better posture? That's a big deal. Then the next two look at what we can do to change things whenever we're doing the sorts of things we do when we stand and when we're relaxing, lounging on the couch, playing on our screen, whatever it is. So if you take care of whatever is most used and your opposite kinds of motion, this basically covers most of what you do when you're awake, right? So the tipping point is going to be number 5. When you transform your bed and you're actually making sure you have good posture all the way around the clock, now your experience is really going to change. This is when pain starts receding more noticeably in the long term sense, not because of something you just did to relax, right? And then after the tipping point, you just stick in all the important little extras that, they're not your main activities, but they're super important. I bet a lot of people want to skip number 7. Don't do it. So we'll just leave that ride for now, shall we? Okay, so you get the idea. You know, if you were bedridden, for example, obviously posture ranking 2 to 4, none of you are. But let's say you were, that would probably go in as number 1, wouldn't it? Right? So, if you have a job, maybe you're working 80 hours a week and you're a cab driver, you might want to put number 6 up here, right? You might want to tweak this a little depending on whatever you do the most. So, let's get started with number 1, the god awful chair. Well, why are chairs so terrible? It's going to be a little bit hard for me to show you that because I don't have any god awful chairs. Sorry, I'm not meaning to offend any people who consider that profane language there, but I feel like I need to use something to emphasize just how extreme this is. When I was a kid, everybody knew that, if you were slouching on the couch would warp into the letter C, and that was bad for your posture, right? Nobody even talks about this anymore. Why? Because everybody's doing it. I am taking the bus right now. My vehicle is down. I got to put in a new gas tank. I can't even take the crosstown bus without a huge hassle. I got to bring my special tool with me to go out in public. Why? Because all of the seats are built into the letter C. It's like a space age video game chair. It's ridiculous. And this is on a crosstown bus. Okay? This has gotten epic. Now, people that are already a little sensitive, they already have a bit of a clue what I'm talking about. They get sensitive. If they're in the wrong, there's opposite kinds of chairs, right? So if you have a chair like this one, this part here is higher than this part here. This is rounded out and scooped out and given extra space. Whether you're a girl or a guy doesn't really matter, but this is especially important for girls. You got to give a place for your tail, right? And then this part actually comes forward more instead of back more. If it was taller, it would go backwards for the head instead of forwards for the head, right? So if you're a classic hardcore slouch, You really need those awful posture seats, or it's very hard for you to sit. Very, very hard indeed. So, you got to take a look at where you're at. This lesson is not about going out and getting better chairs. Okay, that's going to happen over time as you get more interested, and it's a little more important for people who are in more dire straits. What you want is just a simple tool that you can use in whatever chair you happen to run across that makes it comfortable and fixes the problems. So the bad chairs have this part being higher, kind of tips you forward. It's got this part being back, so it encourages the old man slouch, and it might even have a headrest that tips your head a little bit forward so that you can sit in your slouch position, right? The whole thing will be tipped back a little bit so that you can be in that seat and just be held, right? Right. So, what do we do to fix this? Well, if people sit down in a chair the normal way, right? Maybe you're one of the people, since this is posture group 2 to 4, maybe you're one of the people that's always perching on the edge of your chair. That means you actually have a little better posture, and you can tell that they're always causing trouble. It's much easier to perch on the edge of something like this, right? I can let my tail out. I can put my shoulders back. My C is going the opposite of the way most chairs are built. So this chair will actually accommodate me. Look at that. It totally accommodates the right posture, and I can kick back comfortable as you please. Very, very nice. However, this is still rigid. Even with an ideal chair, it's not going to be comfortable for very long. All of the corrective posture pillows you find to help your chair problem have one critical fail. They're all some kind of solid material that doesn't move. Now, it might be more flexible and hard plastic like this, but it's just not worth it. This is a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier to keep clean, and it will fix absolutely any chair. Even if you have a chair that's tipped forward. I mean, if you have one that's got a headrest in your way, maybe you should just go find another chair. Just don't even mess with those. It can be very difficult to sit in a vehicle. We'll get to that one in the vehicle one, right? But for most chairs that we're talking about out and about, you don't see headrests on the chair, so it's not an issue. As long as it's something to park your butt on, what you need to worry about is fixing the back. And an air pillow will do just that. It will allow you to sit upright, and then now I can actually stretch so well that I can self-adjust just by sitting here, because I'm completely supported in good posture in a way that allows for total flexibility and mobility. That air pillow is going to make up for whatever problems, whatever shape of chair you have has, and whatever problems your shape of body has, because it's air filled, right? So that's about it. This chair thing, it's huge because we're always using all these chairs, but it is super easy to fix, okay? This little pillow here, this one is like the Cadillac, right? This is a $15 pillow made by a company called Medicare. Bit of a ripoff, but it's very durable. I've had this for going on 20 years now, so it can be worth it, right? However, you can find any kind of little inflatable camping pillow you like. You can find them pretty easily for $5 just about anywhere, maybe 10, if you're paying more than 10, you're getting ripped off, okay? You could use a balloon. You could use that bubble wrap stuff that you use in package mailings to keep things from breaking, things like glass and stuff, right? If you have enough of that bubble wrap stuff, that works because it's air filled, right? Now, that's not going to be as ideal, because if you crush your little bubbles, and it stops being a good pillow, right? But yeah, like if you're a kid, it's like, oh man, I can't buy stuff. Yes, you can. Everybody can come. If you go to your parents and say, listen, for $5, I can vastly improve my posture, I think they're probably going to help you out, aren't they? I'm pretty sure you can find some balloons somewhere. So you have no excuses. If you're taking this class for credit, send me a picture. Send it to Ange at cleaninguplady.us again, right? Send me a picture of you sitting with your new posture in a chair using your new tool. I mean, if you're overzealous, you could get yourself or find yourself a fabulous chair like this. Oh yes, I almost forgot to show you the other kind of fabulous chair. This is my other favorite chair. Again, this part is higher than this part. There's all this extra space for your butt to go. This accommodates a wide range of people, right? And of course, this one has the added benefit of arms, which is very nice. It's still, see how my back is going a little bit in this? Again, even an ideal chair, it's still going to have a bit of an issue. This one doesn't work with the pillow as well because it's got all this space here and the pillow just falls out, right? So I do keep this one more for guests that are bigger people. It's absolutely perfect for them. But you get the idea. You don't have to go out and buy new chairs. You can always do that. You can send me a picture one if you like, but I'd like to see you using a pillow. That's about it. We'll see you in the next video. Namaste.